Guys, deluded goon, I'm Mr. Sauce on Spill, the only YouTuber you learn a thing from. Forgive me, guys, the anesthetic is still in my mouth from the dentist. Had root canal treatment. Oh my god, it hurts, and I still got to go back. Pray for deluded goon, but because I love you guys, despite my face slumping to one side and looking like I have a jawbreak in my mouth or looking like the Joker from Batman, let's still talk about some stuff. Conte, now you guys know, although he manages the ops in Chelsea, I still like him a lot. He's a manager that's shown his worth at Juventus. He's shown his worth, man, and he's someone that he's galvanised everybody at Chelsea. He won the league obviously last year. What we need to remember, on top of winning the league last year, he had a very difficult start to life in the Premier League. People were saying he's a fraud, he needs to get sacked, these players ain't good, this and that. I'm talking that period into when we played them at home, the best time to play Chelsea that year. And when we smacked them at home, that period before that, people were saying all sorts. And to turn it around and win the league in the fashion they did with the they did become somewhat unstuck towards the end because they weren't keeping as many clean sheets. But with the clean sheets, with people bossing it, with the defensive shape, people were shining as individuals but shining as a collective team. They deserved to win the Premier League, and so did Conte in his debut year. Now the key is obviously to retain it, but the main purpose of this video is because he hasn't ruled out actually returning to Italy. Now we know every week it seems like he says this, every week it seems like he's in new contract negotiations with Chelsea. My first thought was he wants a new contract. That's my first thought for a lot of these things, but then I realised DG, it doesn't make sense. He's just signed a new deal. The season's midway through. He wouldn't do that. And what he was actually talking about was he's not ruling it out ever, but he doesn't necessarily want to go there immediately. But it still plays on my head, and you can't rule anything else out when you're hearing Juventus are looking at possible replacements for Allegri. I don't know why. Milan are looking at possible replacements and things like that. The guy actually even said he wouldn't rule out being a director of football, so that throws a lot of things out there. So we don't know. He says no doubt in his mind that he will remain. But he said he will know. There's also no doubt that he will return home before long. So that you've got to throw up to how long is he going to stay at Chelsea? Is it going to be another year, another 2 years? He also touched upon he's got a project to complete there. So that goes back into how long he's going to be there. If he's talking about projects and returning, what does he define as a project, or what did Chelsea define as a project? For me, it would be 3 years, and he's won the Prem and things like that. Then if you're going to leave, you can leave. But say Chelsea go and retain the league, I don't know, they get semi-finals, or I hope not, but they win the Champions League, and they claim an FA Cup or something. Would he then leave? Because, I mean, you've got to think about, if you've had 2 great seasons, the third year might be unlucky. What more could you do? That is very good for someone that has won stuff in his first 2 years. You've got to wonder, what does he classify as the project being done, or what is the trigger to think, okay, I need to return home? He's always going back to Italy for holidays and things like that. And he's also touched upon what I've always told you guys: managers, players, clubs owe nobody nothing. It's all about mutual interest, and when one's position of power weakens, that's your business. He's someone that I rate because he said this: today you're working, tomorrow you're not. That experience has improved me. The football world is always evolving. And so yeah, what does that show you? That shows someone that's very happy at Chelsea, very happy in his moment. But he realised things change, nothing lasts forever. The days of Ferguson and Wenger to a degree is done now. Obviously, he's not from England. This isn't his homeland. He probably does not enjoy the weather and the food compared to the madness they have in Italy. So yeah, he that is showing someone that's always got his eyes open and ears open to many different pots and things like that. He ruled out China, but he didn't rule out being a director of football. I mean, he could technically even be a director of football at Chelsea. He'd probably do a better job than Uwe Lumo, or whatever his position is. But you can't rule out anything. He said he left Italy to get out of his comfort zone, to learn new tactics and stuff like that, and challenge himself. He said sometimes when you're surrounded by the same language and all of these sort of things, you don't improve. So that shows someone that wants to be out of their comfort zone, which makes me go back to my first point as to what does he define as a project. Because, I mean, let's look at it. Let's just say in a black and white world, they won the league last year, right? They retained the league this year, which is one of the hardest things to do. They make some progress in the Champions League and in cup competitions. Could that be defined as his comfort zone? Because he'd have won 2 league titles, he would have progressed and been, well, if you get to the semi-finals, you've got to assume that you're going to be the most successful English side for that year's Champions League. So could that be a comfort zone? He'd show that he's dominated. I don't want to say dominated, but he's won the league. He's outclassed the best managers in the league. Wouldn't that be his comfort zone? And then he might think, okay, I want to go back to Italy now. Not Juventus, because I've been there. AC Milan, they've got... I'm only saying AC Milan because I said previously that there's rumours they're looking for a new manager, guys. But let's just say we go to AC Milan. They're signing great players. They've signed Bonucci, Andre Silva, who I wanted at Arsenal, and all of these sort of players, but they're nowhere near the likes of Juventus. Maybe I go there, I try and improve them, I try and press my previous employers in Juventus. So yeah, he's improved a lot of players. I like him a lot, man. He's brought passion, flair, commitment. You can always hear him galvanizing his team and things like that. He's brought the feel-good factor back to Chelsea. He's a breath of fresh air to see in the Premier League. Definitely the nicest Chelsea manager and the most likable manager I've seen in recent years at Chelsea, other than Ancelotti. Because I mean, who hates Ancelotti? His tactical setups are something to be admired, whether it's when Cesc plays in midfield or they played them more when they had Matic and Kante. Yeah, man, the way they set up with temporarily Hazard playing through the 9 when Costa weren't about. There's a lot to like about Conte, not Chelsea, Conte. He's even improved players like Kante, look at Kante on the ball now. You're seeing Kante spray balls over the top even more now. He challenged Kante to improve in that. Pre-season, me included, everybody was looking like, Kante's face foul, you don't need to do that. But now you're surprised. Conte's a big boy. If you ever want to come Arsenal and you want another challenge, come Arsenal, boy, because we got a challenge. We got a real challenge for you. You could bring us back, but I don't know what to say, guys. It remains to be seen what he actually does. I just saw the article I forgot to mention, so I thought let me talk about it. If you want to go and see the article, just go on the Guardian's website or check my tweets, DeludedGooner04. You'll find it in my retweets. But guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Get in the comments, subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for putting up with my one-sided face in this vid. I'm out.